Disclaimer. Some of our content varies per video and may not be suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, in some content, we are critical of the video games, books, music, videos, and other creators on the platform. While we are a group-owned channel, our opinions expressed are solely on our own and may not always reflect the opinions of those associated with this channel. We at Novakast do not condone any and all harassment, IG, cyberbullying, doxing, swatting, towards any of the people that we may be critical towards.
You are dead! Not a big surprise!
Rising with each beat that the music is bringing, new flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Every year, dogs disfigure and kill thousands of people.
So do humans, but unfortunately we do it on a much grander scale. Anyway, yeah, how's it going, everybody? Rob here, back for another video, and we are looking at another video from everybody's favorite lunatic, K9-Aversion, or as they call themselves. For some reason, thought that making a name change would actually do anything for their channel. Defenders of humans in the natural world, which it's still funny that they call themselves that. But anyway, this video is a doozy. So we're gonna go and react to it. It's gonna be interesting. So here we go.
Entire breeds have been engineered to attack without warning.
Dogs may attack humans due to fear, pain, territorial instincts, or resource guarding. Other reasons include protectiveness, a history of abuse or neglect, pure socialization, or a strong prey drive. That sometimes happens, yes, but not all the time. In some cases, the dog may also be provoked or become overexcited during play.
Yet in Western culture, dogs are worshipped, defended, and even treated as superior to humans.
It's funny that this is the go-to normally with a lot of people who are, I want to say, to an extent, not well with these particular individuals that have tried to make these talking points about dogs are being worshipped, which in reality, let's be honest here. Their only proof, quote-unquote proof, of dogs being worshipped is the fact that on and off you have people who share photos with their dogs, or create artwork of dogs, or make posts of dogs, and a variety of different things, when in reality, no, dogs aren't worshipped. And at this point, it just seems like people like this are just scraping at the bottom of the barrel to try to find excuses for people not to like them. Granted, there are people that, or at least those individuals that don't like dogs, that are afraid of dogs. Okay, understandable. But to an extent, if you don't like them, then just do your best to avoid them. Don't interact with them. And let other people just live their lives. Instead of, basing your YouTube channels on solely on your hatred for a particular animal that has nothing to do with you.
How can such a dangerous animal be so beloved? What if the answer is darker than we think?
Or it could just be an individual just likes a certain animal. Just how, when you're a kid, you probably liked, cows or, ducks or something like that, where an individual likes a particular animal. Individuals can like dogs. It's nothing too complex or anything like that. And it's always funny when you have these individuals try to make it out like it's all this whole big conspiracy when in reality it's nothing that crazy or obscene or dangerous.
In nature, parasites hijack the minds of their hosts. A fungus invades an ant's brain.
Please, for the love of God, tell me she's not trying to do the whole parasite mind control angle. Because that is so stupid. And we've debunked this many, many, many times. This is dumb. And I want to point out too that in terms of, by the way, cordyceps, what she's using as an example, is a particular, which is a real phenomenon, where you have a fungus that takes control of an ant and manipulates it to basically infect other ants. That's its purpose, that's what it does. And thankfully, something like that does not infect humans. But let's be honest here. In terms of this whole parasite angle, and I'm gonna debunk this every chance I get, is that overall, in terms of, certain things that your pets can get, overall, the best way to avoid it is proper hygiene. By doing stuff like that, then you know what? You won't get sick. You won't get infected by whatever virus or parasite she's going to bring up. Overall, as long as you practice perfect hygiene, you're good. And even then, I would have to guess that when it comes to particular things that infect your pets, like your dogs, your cats, there will be warning signs. In which case, you can either, take care of your pet to deal with that situation. So, either way, it's going to be dealt with. Is there a possibility for them to contract something? Yes. Is it easily avoidable? Absolutely. This whole thing of her trying to claim, try to demonize people who own dogs by claiming that dogs have this particular parasite that infects them, and for some reason causes mind control effects, when in reality it does not. This individual, time and time again, grasps for straws and just looks crazy attempting to do it.
Forcing it to climb to a high branch where it dies, and the fungus then spreads its spores. A protozoan infects rodents, making them lose their fear of cats. Instead of running away, they run toward danger. The parasite ensures it reaches its next host, the cat.
So, I'm going to go ahead and read this because, again, individuals like this are ultimately so dishonest. So, preventing the spread of protozoa involves practicing, as I mentioned before, good hygiene, drinking and cooking with safe water and food, avoiding contact with contaminated surfaces and animals. Key steps include washing hands thoroughly without using the toilet and before preparing food, drinking only clean water, cooking meat to proper temperatures, and protecting yourself from insect bites. Now, to kind of go any further, considering that this individual doesn't understand this, personal hygiene and sanitation. Frequently wash your hands with soap and clean water, especially after using the toilet, changing diapers, handling raw meat, or after contact with animals. Shower and bathe regularly. This helps prevent the spread of certain infections. Using condoms can reduce the risk of transmitting certain sexually transmitted protozoa. Water and food safety. Avoid drinking water from untreated sources like lakes, rivers, or streams, especially when traveling. Use bottled water, oil, or boil water to kill parasites if you are unsure of its safety. Cook meat to its recommended internal temperature to kill any protozoa. Wash all fruits and vegetables thoroughly before eating. Peel them or cook them if you are in an area where intestinal parasites are common. Keep raw meat separate from other foods to prevent cross-contamination. Now, let's talk about environmental and animal contact. Take measures to protect yourself from insects, as they can be vectors for protozoa. When cleaning animal pens, properly dispose of manure and other waste. Keep animal housing areas clean. Wear protective gear. Wear gloves when gardening or handling soil, and wear shoes to protect your feet from parasites in the ground. When not in use, cover children's sandboxes to prevent contamination. Regularly clean and disinfect surfaces, objects, and shared equipment. And if you are sick, do not swim in pools or recreational water if you have a protozoa infection, especially if you have diarrhea. Wash hands frequently. If you are infected, wash your hands very frequently to avoid spreading the infection to others. Seriously, it's a no-brainer on how to deal with that.
Consider the hairworm. It lives inside grasshoppers, feeding quietly until it needs water to reproduce. Then it hijacks the insect's brain, compelling it to leap into a pond, where the worm bursts out and the host drowns. The parasite survives. The host does not. This is the essence of parasitic manipulation, the illusion of free will, masking self-destructive behavior.
Can we all agree that nature is fucked up? There are so many things that we haven't even discovered yet. Many things, or species, or plants, or wildlife that are in the very depths of our oceans that we haven't even seen or discovered yet. Things that, more likely, if we were to find out, or at least discover it, could eventually kill us. But at the same time, while there are those things that could cause us discomfort, could cause death, could cause just all these different issues with us, you do realize there are prevention methods to deal with those sort of scenarios, right? I mean, just a second ago, I just read through a good chunk of different things to do when you deal with protozoas. So, which I'm very curious as whether or not this particular worm, or parasite, I should say, actually infects people, or how often. Horsehair worms do not infect humans.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
And are harmless to them, pets, and livestock. While they can be accidentally ingested if a person swallows contaminated water or an insect, they cannot live or develop inside humans. Reports of finding them in a person's body are very rare, often occurring because the worm has passed through the digestive or urine tract or was vomited.
Now ask yourself, when humans defend dangerous animals such as dogs at any cost, who is really in control?
Well, I mean, we've already debunked several times already that, in terms of, a infection or a mind-controlling parasite or whatever angle you're trying to pull is very much preventable. Especially when, one of the exact examples you use doesn't even affect humans. Go figure. Gee, it's almost like you don't actually know what you're talking about.
Parasites manipulate behavior for their own survival. What if something similar is happening between dogs and humans? Scientists have not discovered such a parasite in humans yet. But the behavior of dog devotion strongly resembles parasitic manipulation. I call this hypothetical condition canine-induced behavioral manipulation syndrome, or CIBMS.
This guy is fucking stupid!
So, let me get this straight. Oh my god, this is actually fun. This is actually good. This is, you know what? No, this is actually hilarious. You can't come up with an actual realistic thing in terms of mind control parasites that infect humans from dogs. So you're coining your own hypothetical syndrome. I'm sorry. This is too good. I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out the best, like, I'm trying to find the words for this. This is dumb. This is overall just out of the, like, how will you react to that? And honestly, it just goes to show that these individuals are so desperate to try to demonize the individuals that own dogs, that to try to demonize dogs, and overall, they're trying so desperately, so hard to try to make you hate them, but in reality, they can't. So, you have people like this that are going to come up with fake syndromes to try to justify their beliefs about particular individuals who like a particular animal. I'm sorry, this is too good. This is amazing. It absolutely is amazing. Just the sheer delusion, which, by the way, I want to point out, this is coming from the same lady, the same individual, who went out of their way to use a blowhorn on their neighbor's dog from across the street in their own yard, fenced up, all because they were barking. I ask you, does this seem like sane behavior to you? Does this seem like somebody who's from some form of sanity to kind of try to coin this particular situation? Is this person actually well? That's the question I have to ask. The answer is no, by the way.
CIBMS can be described through 4 key symptoms. First, selective blindness to risk. Despite repeated headlines of fatal attacks, maulings, disfigurements, people dismiss or rationalize the dangers. Second,
oh, I am so curious about this, but, I have to ask. Are you a medical professional? Do you have a degree in any form of psychology, counseling, mental health, anything involving health whatsoever? Which, the only reason I ask, because in the event that you are trying to, come up with these terms and come up with these symptoms, it makes me kind of, and I think a lot of people skeptical of, you having actual background to even diagnose people of these particular things. When, again, you clearly have no background, by the sounds of it, in terms of, dealing with, these situations, these issues.
Cultural reverence. Dogs are elevated to a moral ideal, often described as more loyal, more loving, and even more virtuous than humans themselves.
So, in terms of, to kind of rebuttal this blindness to the issue, no, people aren't blind to the issue. We recognize that there are situations where, yes, dogs do attack people. Just like, any other man, woman, or child will attack each other. What ultimately needs to be understood is particular behavioral cues. Yes, there are times where, in that situation, or that, like, let's say, rare occasion where that does happen, where a dog will, out of the blue, attack somebody. But 9 times out of 10, there is a reason for it. Whether it be abuse, where it becomes territory, where it comes, there are a variety of different things. We basically read the various reasons why they would attack an individual towards the beginning of this video. I think, if anything, the only person that fails to, or at least is blind to actual issues or responses, is you. People like you, K9-Aversion, who repeatedly do not accept other people's arguments in terms of the topic at hand. Yes, again, there are particular dogs that have attacked people, which I myself have said time and time again, that especially in like situations where, like, a park, where you have an individual who knows the demeanor of their dog, still takes them to the park anyways, and that dog inevitably attacks somebody, then not only is the dog should be punished, but the owner who brought the dog in the first place. In terms of situations where an owner knows how aggressive their dogs are, but leaves them unleashed in a open neighborhood, and that dog runs around and attacks people, not only should the dog be punished, but also the individual who owned the dog. Again, we're not blind to the issues, but we also understand that there are certain reasons for it occurring. But I think, again, the only person who does seem to be blind to anything in terms of the facts is people like you.
Third, sacrificial behavior. Owners willingly endure property damage, financial strain, even disfigurement, while defending the very animal that harmed them.
Am I the only one that feels that this is very nitpicky? Like, very, kind of like a non-issue thing. I mean, again, people post videos of their dogs. People post pictures of their dogs. Who fucking cares? Like, I see a dog, like, okay, dog looks cool, swipe away. That's it. Or, I'm not just gonna be like, oh my god, a dog is on the freaking, on the social media, oh, I need to make, a freaking 5-minute post about why it's evil to have dogs on social media. Like, no. Again, if you don't like dogs on social media, you see a dog that's on your Facebook, Twitter, I mean X at this point, but overall, you see him on social media, you know what the thing you do? Click away. It's that simple. And something I want to point out is there's been stories I've heard where people have basically destroyed friendships because an individual that they know, but I'm pointing out to, like, the dog hater community. There are certain individuals that one of their friends, they like a picture that has a dog, and they immediately like, oh, you're not my friend anymore. Nah. And then just break friendships because, they committed the ultimate sin of liking a dog post. Grow up. Like, I mean genuinely serious. Like, to some of these individuals who think that that is such a freaking thing. Grow up.
And fourth, social contagion. Pro-dog ideology spreads through movies, advertising, and peer pressure. Those who question it are shamed, silenced, or cast out.
You do realize that with, again, because I can't believe I have to keep saying this, in a lot of situations, individuals who have dogs that act a certain way, you literally could train out certain behaviors. A dog is tearing up a blanket, okay, you can put them through training where they stop trying to tear up the blanket or tear up cords, or, you know, it's a very simple solution. Does it cost a little bit of money to get them trained? Yes, but it's worth it in the long run. It's not like sacrificing their well-being. Like, come on, seriously. A lot of these things that they're claiming can be easily avoided by taking necessary actions in terms of, like, what to do when you have the animal. Trying to just avoid the animal isn't the solution. Trying to get rid of the animal isn't the solution. Yes, there are times where people do get fed up because of the cost. But a lot of times people, they're willing to put the work into training the animal. And a lot of times that does pay off. It's a very simple concept that unfortunately some of these people, K9-Aversion, does not understand.
The parallel to parasitic manipulation is undeniable. Just as toxoplasma drives rodents into the jaws of cats, dog devotion drives humans to tolerate threats that endanger themselves and their children.
You do realize that with, again, because I can't believe I have to keep saying this, in a lot of situations, individuals who have dogs that act a certain way, you literally could train out certain behaviors. A dog is tearing up a blanket, okay, you can put them through training where they stop trying to tear up the blanket or tear up cords, or, it's a very simple solution. Does it cost a little bit of money to get them trained? Yes, but it's worth it in the long run. It's not like sacrificing their well-being. Like, come on, seriously. A lot of these things that they're claiming can be easily avoided by taking necessary actions in terms of, like, what to do when you have the animal. Trying to just avoid the animal isn't the solution. Trying to get rid of the animal isn't the solution. Yes, there are times where people do get fed up because of the cost. But a lot of times people, they're willing to put the work into training the animal. And a lot of times that does pay off. It's a very simple concept that unfortunately some of these people, K9-Aversion, does not understand.
Whether caused by culture, psychology, or even an undiscovered biological agent, the effect is the same. Self-preservation is overridden in favor of the dog. If CIBMS is real, it means human society has been hijacked. Our laws, neighborhoods, and even our personal safety are shaped not by reason, but by an overwhelming devotion to dogs. Parasites alter ecosystems by manipulating their hosts. Could dogs, intentionally or not, be doing the same to us? Is humanity under the spell of a mind-controlling parasite? Or is this a cultural mass psychogenic illness, a shared delusion that has spread unchecked for centuries? Either way, It's time to start asking hard questions about our blind devotion to dogs. Because the first step to breaking free of manipulation is recognizing that we are being manipulated.
I'm sorry, but aren't you kind of doing the same thing, though? I mean, to an extent, you're worried about people. Like, I mean, granted, I'm gonna say this: it's not okay to try to shame somebody for not liking something, but at the same time, like, your whole channel, like a lot of the other people's channels that I've responded to, have made it their daily routine to go out of your way and shame people, all because they like a particular animal. And it's not even just about shaming the individual, but also trying to find ways to demonize them, to make them seem lesser. And I know there's going to be certain people that, are going to look at this video, and you're going to have that one guy that's going to be like, oh, we never said we're demonized people. No. It's how you act. It is the way you present information. If you're going to focus on a case-by-case basis on a dog attack, then okay, fair enough. You can do that. But to go and make your channels and post video after video after video after video after video discussing your hatred, your disgust for an animal that at this point you can, basically avoid, it goes to show, like, in terms of, like, between, the disgusting dog owners and the individuals who hate dogs, it clearly shows who is the individual who is not... I'm being very cordial and saying, misguided. Or if anything, more so to the point, being disingenuous, harmful, and, let's be real here, acting like fear-mongers. Channels like K9-Aversion and many others have continuously brought on the rhetoric that if you like dogs, if you defend dogs, or discuss dogs, you are a dog nutter, as some of them will coin us. Overall, using a slur to try to demonize and lower the individual who has a different opinion than them. And just like with this video right here, we have an individual who's trying to, again, more likely does not have a degree in psychology, health, or anything, trying to come up with a bogus diagnosis of an individual's or a group of individuals who like a thing that she does not. So, what does that tell us about the individual? Well, for one, it clearly shows that this individual, clearly has a bias on a particular animal. Fair enough. Will they go out of their way to basically shame, ridicule, and basically dehumanize anyone who disagrees with them? Yes. It's a telltale sign almost every single moment that these people post a post or a video that involving dogs. If it is against them, then it is and should be hated by the community. These individuals, to be real, are disgusting individuals. They care nothing for the actual issues that they discuss. Their only motives are to basically continue to fearmonger, to spread just discourse in the community, and overall, not have an actual dialogue. So, anyway, I'm not watching the rest of the video, by the way. There's more to this particular video. I've said my piece time and time again. I've debunked this individual numerous times, not just in this video, but in many other videos before. And overall, this person is cuckoo for Cocoa Bus. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I got other videos I would like to do, so thank you all for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one, take care, and I will see you guys next video. Ta-ta.